Mary was 68 when her doctor looked at her and said something that stuck with her. "If your waistline keeps growing, we might have to talk about medication." That moment hit her like a cold wind. She wasn't overeating, she wasn't lazy, but year after year the pounds had quietly crept in, and now her jeans didn't fit and her energy was gone by mid-morning. Mary didn't want another pill. What she wanted was control. So she did something simple. She added 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar to her morning routine. Not a diet, not an expensive supplement, just vinegar, warm water, and a little hope. 3 weeks later, she had lost 4 inches from her waist. Her digestion had improved, and for the first time in years, she felt lighter, not just in her body, but in her mind. You might be thinking, can a spoonful of vinegar really do all that? Let's look at what the science says, and why this old kitchen remedy is becoming a quiet revolution for people over 60. Because sometimes a small habit can lead to the biggest change. So what's in that 1 tablespoon that makes such a difference? It comes down to something called acetic acid, the powerful compound that gives vinegar its strong smell and sour taste. But don't let that fool you. Acetic acid is what triggers fat-burning processes in the body, and more importantly for seniors, it helps prevent the accumulation of fat in the belly and liver. In a 2009 Japanese study, participants were given just 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar a day, the same amount Mary used. After 12 weeks, those who took vinegar showed significant reductions in abdominal fat, waist circumference, and body weight compared to those who didn't. How does it work? Acetic acid appears to block enzymes that store fat, while also increasing enzymes that help the body burn fat as energy. It also helps control insulin levels, keeping blood sugar spikes lower after meals, which can contribute to less fat storage overall. What's more, ACV seems to help you feel full longer. In other words, you may find yourself snacking less or skipping that late-night bite, not because you're forcing yourself, but because your body feels satisfied sooner. And here's the best part. It's so simple to use. Just mix 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar into a full glass of warm water or juice once a day. That's it. No crash diets, no fancy equipment. Just 1 small spoonful, and your body begins to shift. Because aging well doesn't require big changes. It starts with tiny habits that respect your rhythm, your routine, and your reality. Mary's story didn't stop at her waistline. One quiet evening, she tested her blood sugar before bed just out of curiosity. She'd always hovered at the edge of prediabetes, but that night the numbers were lower than usual. It wasn't a fluke. Over the next few weeks, she began to notice a gentle improvement in her fasting glucose levels. That's when she learned apple cider vinegar doesn't just help with weight, it also helps regulate blood sugar, especially overnight. A study published in Diabetes Care found that when people with insulin resistance took 2 tablespoons of ACV before bedtime, their fasting blood sugar levels were significantly reduced by morning. This means their bodies were better able to process glucose overnight, lowering the risk of dangerous spikes that are common after 60. The reason acetic acid seems to slow down the digestion of starches, preventing sudden rises in blood sugar. It also increases insulin sensitivity, so the insulin your body produces works more effectively. For seniors like Mary who are watching their A1C creep up, this is a gentle but powerful tool. It's not a medication. It's not a substitute for doctor's advice, but it's a natural ally that works quietly in the background while you sleep. And sometimes that quiet support is exactly what the body needs most. Mary had always eaten healthy oatmeal in the morning, leafy greens with dinner. But during her last checkup, her doctor mentioned something troubling. Your LDL cholesterol is inching upward. That's the bad cholesterol, the kind that clogs arteries and increases the risk of heart disease and stroke. Mary didn't want to add a statin just yet, so she stayed consistent with her daily apple cider vinegar. And after 8 weeks, the results were undeniable. A study conducted by researchers, including Panetta, found that consuming just 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar per day led to a measurable reduction in LDL cholesterol and an improvement in overall lipid profile. How does it work? ACV seems to help by improving liver function, allowing the body to process fats more efficiently. It also promotes bile production, which helps flush excess cholesterol from the body. Even better, incorporating ACV into your diet is incredibly easy. You can blend it into a smoothie, mix it with olive oil for a heart-healthy salad dressing, or dilute it in water as a morning tonic. For seniors, managing cholesterol, is about more than numbers. It's about protecting your brain, your heart, your energy. And while no single ingredient is a cure-all, this humble vinegar may help your body do what it's meant to do, just a little better. Mary always thought her occasional dizziness was just getting older. But when her doctor took her blood pressure, it was higher than she expected. Hypertension affects more than half of adults over 60. And while medications are sometimes necessary, many seniors wonder, is there a natural way to help? Apple cider vinegar might be part of that answer. Research suggests that ACV may help improve blood circulation, reduce arterial stiffness, and support heart health by gently lowering blood pressure. One theory is that acetic acid helps the body produce more nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes blood vessels and improves blood flow. Another possibility: vinegar helps reduce sodium retention and promotes better kidney function, which plays a key role in regulating blood pressure. Mary didn't expect much, but after 2 months of taking her tablespoon of vinegar in warm water, every morning she began feeling more stable, less lightheaded, and more alert in the mornings. Her blood pressure readings dropped slightly but steadily, enough to delay medication, enough to make her feel hopeful again. For seniors like Mary, the goal isn't perfection, it's progress. And apple cider vinegar, with its simple natural properties, supports that journey quietly, consistently, without fuss. Because sometimes the best remedies don't come with flashing labels or loud promises. They come in a humble bottle sitting right in your kitchen. Mary had made peace with her silver hair, but not with how dull and brittle it had become. Then something unexpected happened. About a month after she began taking apple cider vinegar daily, she noticed her hair felt softer. It wasn't breaking as easily. And when sunlight hit it, there was a shine she hadn't seen in years. It turns out the same acetic acid that helps her waistline also helps her scalp. Apple cider vinegar is known to balance the pH of the scalp, helping reduce buildup from shampoos, styling products, and hard water. This balance supports healthier hair follicles, which can lead to stronger, shinier hair over time. Even taken internally, the nutrients in ACV, like potassium and enzymes, can help the body absorb vitamins more efficiently, which indirectly supports hair growth and strength. Some people even rinse their hair with diluted vinegar after shampooing, but Mary never needed to. 1 tablespoon a day was enough. For her, this wasn't about vanity, it was about vitality, a small sign that her body was responding, healing, thriving again. And that's something every senior deserves to feel, right down to the ends of their hair. By now you might be wondering, how do I actually start using apple cider vinegar the right way? Mary kept it simple. Every morning she mixed 1 tablespoon of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar into a full glass of warm water, about 8 ounces, and sipped it slowly before breakfast. That's it. No harsh flavors, no strange rituals. But there are a few important safety tips you should know. Always dilute it. Apple cider vinegar is highly acidic. Drinking it straight can damage tooth enamel, irritate your throat, or upset your stomach. Always mix it with water or even with fruit juice or herbal tea. Start small. If you're new to ACV, begin with just 1 teaspoon a day and gradually work up to 1 tablespoon. See how your body responds. Everyone is different. Timing matters. Some prefer taking it first thing in the morning to kickstart digestion. Others take it before a heavy meal or even before bed to support blood sugar control overnight. Find what feels right for you, but never take it on an empty stomach if you have acid reflux or a sensitive gut. Be consistent. This isn't a quick fix, it's a daily ritual. Just like brushing your teeth or taking a walk, the benefits build over time. Check with your doctor. If you're on medications for diabetes, blood pressure, or potassium levels, speak with your healthcare provider. ACV can interact with certain drugs, and it's best to be cautious. For Mary, that 1 tablespoon became more than a habit. It became a quiet reminder every morning, and today I choose to care for myself. At 68, Mary didn't set out to transform her life. She just wanted to feel a little better, a little lighter, a little more like herself. And somehow a single tablespoon of apple cider vinegar each day became the start of that change. Not because it's a miracle cure, not because it replaces a healthy diet or regular movement, but because it reminded her that small habits done consistently can lead to big changes. Her waistline slimmed, her blood sugar steadied, her energy returned, even her hair grew shinier. But more than that, Mary began to believe in something she hadn't felt in years: momentum. You see, when we're young, change feels easy. But after 60, every choice feels heavier, slower. It's tempting to think, oh, why bother? But the truth is, your body is still listening. Your heart is still capable. Your cells still respond, even now. And the beauty of apple cider vinegar is that it asks very little of you, just a tablespoon, a glass of water, and a bit of intention. No fads, no gimmicks, just nature supporting nature. So if you're watching this and wondering where to begin here. With one spoon, one sip, one small act of care repeated every day. Because you don't need to chase youth. You just need to nourish the wisdom age has already given you.